If you ever told yourself this time will be different, you know exactly what motivation feels like. You watch a video, read a book, have this breakthrough, and suddenly you're ready to change your entire life. You make a plan, you make goals, you feel unstoppable, and for a few days, maybe a few weeks, everything is going according to plan. Then life happens. You get busy, you get tired, you miss a day, and before you know it, you're right back to where you started. For years, I thought my problem was motivation. I thought I needed more of it, more inspiration, more discipline, more willpower, but I don't think that's the problem anymore. Because the most consistent people I've ever met don't seem so motivated all the time. In fact, they don't feel like doing the thing either. The difference is they don't rely on motivation. They rely on trust, trust in themselves, the trust that comes from keeping their word. And that's what most people are missing, including me. Because when you spend years making promises and then breaking them, you stop believing yourself. You say you're going to wake up early, you don't. You're going to go to the gym, you don't. You say you're going to change, you don't. And every broken promise becomes this new piece of evidence. Evidence that your word doesn't mean much. So when motivation disappears, there's nothing left to carry you forward. And that's why I think most people start in the wrong place. They try to change everything, a new routine, a new workout plan, a new diet, a completely different life by next Monday. And that's not how the rebuild works. The first step is much smaller than that. In fact, I think it should be almost laughably small. I call it a foundation promise. One promise, not three, not five, just one. And it should be so small that if you told somebody about it, they might laugh at you. Because if it's laughable, it's doable. For me, it was making my bed. That's it. And not because making the bed changes my life, not because it's some sort of life hack, because it was a promise I knew I could keep. And that's the point. The goal isn't to change overnight. The only goal is to keep your word. Keep that promise for 7 days, not 6, not 5, 7. If you miss a day, start over. Not because you're a failure, but because it is a promise that you haven't completed yet. Once you have kept that promise for 7 consecutive days, you add another promise. Now that's 2. Maybe it's making your bed and drinking 2 cups of water before your first sip of coffee. Keep both of those promises for another 7 days. If you do that, you've earned another one. Now we have 3. Maybe it's making your bed, drinking your water, and adding one goal you want to achieve before the end of the day. Keep those for another 7 days. That is 21 days total. That is 21 promises kept. 21 pieces of evidence that your word means something. The goal isn't to overwhelm yourself. The goal is just to build evidence. Evidence that your word means something. And that's why you don't add a new promise every single day. You earn the next promise by proving you can keep the current ones. 1 week, 1 promise, then 2, then 3. Slowly building your trust, brick by brick. So now some people might hear this and think, I'm just going to start stacking promises on promises on promises on promises. No, that's not the goal. The goal isn't to collect promises. The goal is to collect proof. The foundation promises are there to teach yourself to trust again. And some of those promises will stay, become a part of you. Some of them won't. Some will evolve into bigger promises because the goal isn't to become a man who makes his bed or drinks 2 glasses of waters or creates this goal by the end of the day. The goal is to become the man you've always known that you could be, to become the man of your dreams, the man you admire. Because becoming that man will naturally begin to influence your relationships, your finances, your health, your confidence, your career, and eventually every area of your life. The identity comes first, the outcomes will follow. The foundation promises are not the destination. They are the bridge. The bridge between who you are today and who you want to become. That's what the rebuild is really about. Rebuilding self-trust, stopping the bleeding, defining the man you want to become, and then becoming him. But it starts here. One promise, one day, one decision at a time. And if you're following along, I really want to know what's going to be your first foundation promise. See you in the next one.